So let's say I want to check if a given number is prime or not, right? So I say num equal to, let's say, 51, and I want to check this. So how do you check if prime or not? You actually see, prime number means that number is divisible only by 1 in itself, right?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
other number would be able to divide other than 1 in itself, correct?
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll create a for loop, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll say for I in range, and we will check from 2 to num, right? And we'll check if this number, okay, is divisible by 1, divisible by I, okay. So this is how you check, right? So if num modulo I equal to 0, this
Mm-hmm.
means it is not prime, correct? So I'm taking 51, I'm checking from 2 to num, okay, and
Mm.
for each value I'm checking if this number mod I, if it is divisible by, if it is divisible or not. How do you check divisible? Using modulo sign, right?
Okay.
Modulo will give a remainder. So when you say something is divisible, that means remainder has to be 0, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm checking if remainder is 0. And if remainder is 0, then it's not a prime, right? So for example, 51 is not a prime. It's printing twice. Okay.
Mm.
So once we know that it is not a prime, okay, then we don't have to check it again, right? Once we know it is not a prime, then we can break from this loop. So break is a command which will throw you out of the loop.
Okay.
Okay. So here, um, so what is happening is, like, it is not a prime, and then again it went and checked, not a prime. So if you don't do break, and instead if you give the I, okay, so that means 51 is divisible by these values. It is divisible by 3 and 17. So 51 is divisible by 3 as well as 17.
Okay.
Okay. So, so that's why it is not a prime. And it printed twice because one for 3 and one for 17. So once we know it is divisible by any number, we don't have to check, more numbers again, right?
Mm.
So it says not a prime, and then it break. Break means throw you out of the loop. Okay.
Like here we are taking for I in range 2 comma number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it is only checking for 51 or it is checking from 2 to 51.
2 to 51, including
Oh,
2 up to 50. I told you
okay.
51 is the higher value, right? It will
Mm.
check lower than 51, right? So 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on up to
Okay.
50, 50.
50. Mm.
Yeah, because this is second example where you have start number and end number, and you don't have
Mm.
increment. So by default increment is 1,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you run it, it's not a prime, right? Now,
Mm.
if I make it 53, if 53 is a prime, then how do I make it look like a prime? Okay. So
Mm.
in this case, okay, what I'll do is I will first create assumption that, it is a prime. So I'm going to say is prime equal to true, I'll make. Okay. And if it is not a prime, instead of printing it's not a prime, okay,
Mm.
I will make is prime equal to false. Okay.
Okay.
So, and after the loop ends, I can go and check if that number is prime, I mean, if the value is true or false, right? So,
Mm.
okay, I go here and then I'll check. So if is prime, then we'll say it's a prime number. Okay. And else you say it's not a prime number, right? So now
Mm.
when you run it, say it's a prime number. It's a prime number, or base 53 is a prime number. Now if I make it 51, okay,
Mm.
it says it's not a prime number.
Yeah.
So this is how you can handle it.
Okay.
Now let's say I want to use the same logic to
Mm.
test if a given number is prime or not, right?
Okay.
So,
Mm.
so this is, we have tested if a given number is prime or not. Now we will
Yeah.
extend it to generate prime number. We'll use same logic to generate prime number. Okay. So let's say you want to start from, so let's say you want to start from, I'll say start comma end. Want to start from 1000 and go up to 5000, and between 1000 and 5000 you want to see how many of them are prime numbers. So you want to print the prime numbers between these values.
Okay.
Print prime numbers between 1000 and 5000. Okay.
Mm.
So okay, we'll use the same logic here. This is to check one value, isn't it? Now to
Yeah.
check this entire thing, I need to run a for loop for k in range, and I'll say start, okay, comma, and I'll say n plus 1. Okay, I'll say n plus 1 because I want to go one step beyond the n. And then you paste it.
N plus 1 is like beyond.
No, see, I want to check between 1000 and 5000, right? If I give
Yeah.
5000, it will only check
Mm-hmm.
up to 4999.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So if you want to check up to 5000, you have to go one step beyond 5000.
Okay. Okay.
That's why I said 5000 plus 1 or n plus 1. Okay,
Mm.
okay, because loop will run only one step less, right?
Whenever we give a break, it's like it's going back to uh uh the next command. Like we are taking a break from
So
if
it is
or for.
throwing you out of the inner loop.
Okay.
Okay, it is throwing you
It
out
is
of the
like for and if both.
yes, any loop, any loop.
Okay.
So now if you put this break here, right?
Mm-hmm.
This loop will end, not this loop.
Okay, fine.
This loop is going to end.
Okay.
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 Mm.
So I'm running k, and now instead of number, we have to check for k, right? If k is prime number or not.
Okay.
Okay. And if it is prime, we want to print the number itself, not that it's prime. So I'm going to say print k, and else we are not doing it anything. If it is not a prime, then ignore.
Mm.
You see, we have generated all the prime numbers. These are prime numbers between 1000 and 5000.
5,000. Okay.
Okay, so this is how
Mm.
your for loop works. We'll stop our discussion on for loop here. Okay,
Okay.
we'll now move to next, which is while loop. Okay,
Okay.
now while loop, okay, is another way to implement loop, right, in programming. But here we don't. We look at the condition. Okay, we look at the condition. So until the condition is true, you will continue the loop, and condition becomes false, then you stop the loop, right?
Okay.
So the condition is managed by while. That's why it says while. Okay, while, until. Okay,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
so let's say I put ch equal to true, for example, and I say while ch. Okay, or even before that, let me do a simple example. I will print number from 1 to 10. Okay, so print number from 1 to 10, right? So now here in this case, we say I equal to 1 for now while, correct? So what we want, okay, print to happen until I is less than equal to 10. So I'm going to say while I is less than equal to 10. It will test a lot of our learnings that we have done so far. I is a variable, less than is to comparison operator, less than equal to is comparison operator. Then you have the 10 here. So I'm comparing, okay, if the number 10 is sorry, if I is less than or equal to 10 or not. If it is less than 10, only then you print. Otherwise, don't print. Correct? So if I is less than 10, only then you print it. So I'm going to say print I. Now, if I run it, okay, what happens? It goes into infinite loop. It goes into infinite loop because we are saying I is less than 10, which is fine, but then I remains 1, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So that's why probably it's not a good idea. Either you implement this I, okay, and then it has to somehow increase by a value, right? This, see, it is printing I, which is fine, but this has to become false sometime, right?
Yeah.
How to okay, so let me forcefully stop it here. So one thing is you have all ones here, which is also not right, right? We want to increase I by 1, I plus equal to 1. So I'm saying I equal to I plus 1. I'm increasing value of I.
Mm.
So earlier I is 1 and it prints 1. Now it became 1 plus 1, 2. It goes up, comes down as 2.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Now when
we are
you run
writing
it,
I plus is equals to 1, right? So it's taking 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, and in that case it is increasing. I mean that.
yes.
Okay.
Makes sense here?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how while could be used, right? So while we'll check for a condition, the condition is true, then only you go in, otherwise you don't go in. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's take another example.
Mm.
I want to print hello until user says yes. Okay. So I will say choice equal to true, and I'm saying while choice. That means while choice is true, I will continue doing it. So I'm going to say print hello. Okay, print hello, and okay, and now I have to ask the user, do you want to continue? Isn't it? So I'm going to say ch equal to input plus and to stop. Okay, so ch
Okay.
equal to input, and we are saying if you want n, then only it'll stop, otherwise it will not stop, right? So to stop, what do we have to give? We have to give break. So or we have to say if ch equal to n. Okay, if ch equal to n, then you will say choice equal to false.
Okay.
Equal to false. Okay, now you run it. It prints hello, n to stop. I don't enter n, I enter something else. It keep on giving me hello. Moment I enter n, it should stop.
Okay.
Okay, this is how you give a while loop. Okay.
Mm.
Now you can use break also. Same example. I will not use the word choice.
Okay.
I will delete it. Instead, I will directly here true. See, ultimately, when it is true, only then it will execute, isn't it?
Mm.
Okay. So I say if it is true, then you continue. And if ch equal to n, I'll say break. So I'm avoiding one variable altogether. We don't need extra variable, isn't it? So if while true will go on forever, and moment you see the user says n,
It breaks.
it stops.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So and I say n, it stopped the previous one. Here I keep entering n and it stops. Okay.
Okay.
Shall we stop here for today?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.